All right, we will be covering a couple of formulas or problem types in this video. We'll be doing some mass volume percent problems, some mass of solute, and uh, mass percent. So here in the first problem, we're going to work with some mass volume. So the question asks, what is the percent concentration of a solution consisting of 70 grams of solute dissolved in a solution with a total volume of 600 milliliters? The equation for solving mass volume problems is simply mass over volume, and more importantly, the units must be grams over mLs for your mass for grams, your volume is in mLs, and then you multiply the entire problem by 100%. Remembering that your unit for these problems will be percent because it is a percent concentration. So for this particular problem, we would take a couple of notes. Do we have a mass? And if so, what is that mass? For this problem, we have 70 grams. So it's already in the mass unit necessary to solve this problem. We also need a volume in mLs. And if we read through the problem, we see that we have a total volume of 600 mLs. So we simply take that information and plug it into our equation. So here you can see I have my 70 grams over my 600 mLs, and I did that division problem first. Remembering I do not round, I do not do anything extra until the very end of my problems. So when I divide 70 by 600, I get 0.11667. And then I'm going to remember to multiply that times 100% because that is what my answer is supposed to be in. So then I'm going to get 100.667. And if I round that to the nearest whole number, I'm going to end up with a final answer of 12%. So I like to tell people, think of these types of problems. If you have an assignment that is not out of 100 points, or a test or a quiz, and you want to find out what your grade is, take your grade over the total amount and multiply by 100. It is the same concept here for this particular problem. All right, so let's take a look at our next type of problem, which is going to be a mass percent. Okay, mass percent. Okay, for mass percent, the problem we have, let's go ahead and unfold that and reveal. We have 10.5 grams of a solute, and they are added to 125.5 grams of a solution. What is the mass percent of the solute? Round to the 10th place. So once again, this is just like that problem of saying, out of all of the total amount of possible mass or points in the case of a grade, how much or what percentage of that would 10.5 grams be? So the equation or formula for mass percent is going to be your initial mass divided by your total mass times 100. So I want you all to pause the video at this time and give this one a try. Your initial mass divided by your total mass times 100. All right, welcome back after that pause. So let's take a look at what I have here for your initial and total mass and how I arrived at my answer. So my initial mass is going to be what the problem is asking me about. So it's saying, what is the mass percent of the solute? So the item in question is going to be my M1, or my initial mass. And that's going to be the 10.5 grams of solute. All right, so now I also need to determine my total mass. And I know some of you are asking, where did this 136 grams come from? Well, we must remember, just like in our dilution problems, terms such as dissolved in or added to would make us have to remember to put those items together so that we have a total or a final volume or a final mass. So just like if we were to walk into the laboratory and there was already a bottle or cylinder there that had the 125.5 grams sitting on a scale, and it tells me that I added this solute into that container. So now my scale is going to read 136 grams. So remember, if it states added to and does not give a final volume, you need to add whatever you have to that solution, okay? So now we're going to look down at the worked out problem. We have 10.5 grams divided by 136, which is going to give us this lovely 0.0772058. And we're going to remember to multiply that by 100. And the problem did ask us to round that to the nearest tenth place. So my final answer would end up being 7.7% for this mass percent problem. All right. Now, along with this, we have problems that deal with the percent of solute. So those problems would read as such. You have 4 grams of a 5% solution. Okay, so that's the beginning of our problem. All right. Apologize for the wrestling paper. All right. So here we have the equation: percent mass times mass of solution divided by 100%. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at what our formula is. We have a percent mass times the mass of the solution, all divided by 100. So we have here 4 grams of a 5% solution. So we already have the first portion and the second portion. So let's see how much of a particular substance is needed to create a solution of this amount and that strength. Okay, so let's fill in what we have. Percent mass, we have a 5% solution. So there we fill in 5%. Mass of solution, that's going to be my 4 grams because it told me I had 4 grams of a 5% solution. And we're going to divide all of that by 100%. So as you see here, we've taken our formula, compared it to our problem, and plugged in all of the information. We're going to now cross out our like terms. So we're going to get rid of this percent sign here because it is a unit. We're going to get rid of that second percent sign, and we're left with just grams. And it does ask us, what is the mass required to produce this substance? Okay, so let's go ahead and do our math. So 5 times 4 gives us 20, all over 100. And let's go ahead now, we divide that. And in nursing, remember, we always lead, never follow. So 0.2 grams. All right. So all it takes to make a 4-gram substance of a 5% solution, or 4 grams of a 5% solution, it only requires 0.2 grams of whatever that solute is to produce that. So once again, I thank you for joining us, and I hope this was helpful. All right, happy studying and good luck.